fellow music history students. In the book there was mention of an instrument which I thought was really interesting. Now I think that Rachel might cover this in her blog, but there was something about it that kind of struck me, and I wanted to talk to you about it just in case you don't know what sympathetic strings or sympathetic vibrations are. This instrument, which is absolutely new to me, I've never heard of it before, and I know the viol pretty well. I know viol literature, meaning that I listen to it very, very frequently. You'll have to ignore my cat, if you can see her. But the instrument which appears on page 342 is the baritone, right? And I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Baritone. Says that it has several sympathetic strings, and we don't use sympathetic strings anymore in modern instruments, at least not in the West, right? But outside of this instrument that was mentioned in the text, there was also a very popular instrument, it's my cat, the viola d'amore, right? Which was something that Vivaldi wrote for quite a bit. Anyway, so sympathetic strings, right, are strings that are typically not played, but they have a sympathetic vibration to them. Basically, you can think of it as a way of having classic reverb, right? Just reverb with no electronics or anything. What happens is that strings, and this is my Dilruba, which is a modern instrument that uses sympathetic vibrations in its sympathetic strings. So you can see, and well, you probably can't see it. There's one layer of top strings, and this is more or less the way that the baritone looks like it's laid out, and it's certainly the way that the viola d'amore is laid out. You have a top layer of strings which are played, and then underneath those strings you have several sympathetic strings that are all tuned maybe to a chromatic scale. You know, so when a note is played, the corresponding sympathetic string vibrates, and that creates that kind of reverb effect, right? And played correctly, it can be very beautiful. So this is a Dilruba, and I'll just kind of play a little bit as an example. And if it doesn't pick up on the microphone, I'll just have, I'll post another YouTube link to a recording that did, work. Okay, so anyway. Right now, sorry, hit the edge of the bed there with my bow. But I hope that you can hear that. Let me scoot this over a little bit. And I'll try to play it a little bit louder so that you can hear it a little bit better. And I can hear it, I hope that you can hear it, still resonating. So anyway, sympathetic vibrations and sympathetic strings. It's quite a sophisticated, acoustical study, and frankly I don't know why we ever ditched the idea of sympathetic strings. So have a good day. Thanks. Oh, by the way, my blog isn't about that stuff at all.